What's up, y'all? It's T-Tar. Today we're gonna be looking at some more theories that you guys sent me about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's DLC. Let's go. Actually, first thing I want to show you guys is a tweet Khu posted. He's posted a couple of tweets. Let's go through them. So the last tweet he posted was this one, where he was hinting that one of these 6 characters, 5, grasps the key of the lore and is a big spoiler for the game after Sadachi. That still makes no sense to me. What could that possibly be? We decided the best ones is if it's one of these two. Later, he posted another tweet. You just gotta know, whatever year it is, Khu knows like a year and a half into the future minimum. Whatever his sources at least knows that. Obviously, Black and White is the games that are up next after Sinnoh. So knowing what Khu knows, he tweets, "What's on your wish list? Place your bets." And our options are, let's go Unova. Let's go. That's what I want. Pokemon Legends Kyurem. That is insane. Black 3 and White 3. This is the only one that's almost obviously not. And then Paradox Unova. What does that mean? We're gonna skip the Black and White revisit and just give us like a Paradox, Zekrom, and Reshiram. But he seems to want to nudge us to think about these 4 options. If you ask me, I thought it would be like BDSP, except the graphics are more like Let's Go. Let's Go Unova would actually be really interesting though. Because if you remember in the first Let's Go games, it was only the first 150 Pokemon. So it's kind of simplified into its own region. If they did the same with Unova, where you only find Gen 5 Pokemon until the post game, that kind of works. No one wants that though. Obviously, the greatest thing on this list would be Pokemon Legends Kyurem. This is when they could go into the past and show maybe the twin heroes. That's a huge thing. They could have it take place in that time period. Or they just find some way to show us what the original dragon looks like. And if the dragon is really that strong, they could give us some lore about where it stands when Arceus is in the picture. Is it stronger than Arceus's little avatar? But he responds to it saying, Legends is quite popular in the community right now, huh? What are you trying to say, Khu? It's mostly because people expect Origin Form Kyurem to appear in it and make the game take place on the times where the original dragon attacked that one city and stuff. This was a rumor, wasn't it? Something like Kyurem steals people and eats them in the woods, in the caves. I don't know if people really passed down the story of the original Kyurem correctly, but maybe he's a villain. That'd be crazy. Think about it, the twin heroes, Zekrom and Reshiram are supposed to be hero dragons, but maybe the original dragon is a whole villain. But yeah, the other reason people want a Legends game is because the Legends game is essentially a prequel. It takes place in the past and exists in like the same continuity. You know, you might see like an ancestor to Red even, ancestor to Oak, and more regional variants. So that's another cool tweet. Then he tweets, are fake. We don't know what he means by this. Based off what we see in the DLC, there's like no new Pokemon, but obviously they have to be working on some secret ones to sneak in once they come out. Maybe there's a new R-Fake. He says, do you like R-Fake, lazy or creative? Well, we already know Khu thinks it's lazy. I'll say this, I think it's lazy and creative. This guy summarized it. Lazy, but at least pretty funny. There's some really cool regional fake ideas. The whole point is to look like the Pokemon, but not actually be it. So some people draw like a Doduo, where it's actually this fighting one and its face is not up there. So there's some cool ideas that could come out of this. And the last thing Khu's tweeted so far, which is, I see some pattern here and a Fisher spoiler desk. Have you got it? Oh, so he's taking something that was shown in the trailer, some official art, and there is some kind of spoiler here. What do we got here? So we've got like typings listed here. All of these are the same blue one, but then we have like grass, fire, water. Maybe this is a hint to the Loyal 3's typings. Okay, so grass, psychic, rock, fire, fairy, poison, water, ghost, fighting. So that is what they're saying. They think maybe it's talking about the Loyal 3. So let's say the first one, Okidogi, is grass and psychic, and then its Terra type is rock. And then like Pheasantipity, fire, fairy, and its Terra type is poison. And then like Monkey Dory, water, ghost, and its Terra type is fighting. Alright, well, let's not think too much into this, but whatever the Terra types would be, I imagine they have to be that Terra to achieve a Terra form, whatever that is. And that's all the cool tweets, so it makes you kind of excited because it's supposed to come out in autumn, and that's pretty close. Anyhow, another thing I wanted to show you is when we found this new text in the game. It says, Mew is going all out against this formidable opponent. We thought maybe it could be like a Mew event in the DLC. No, they just added the text early. But what it actually turns out to be is something really weird. There's a 7-star Mewtwo raid, and if you send out Mew in that raid, the game decides to throw some fun around. It triggers that text. and then Mew's health goes up by 50% and a 20% stat boost to all the other 5 stats. Maybe it's supposed to be a reference to the movie, just something. Mew sees Mewtwo wants to go all out. This is a really weird thing to do here. So yeah, these are the stats before and after, and when the Terra Pokemon yells and clears the stats, it doesn't affect the Mew's boost. Oh, and completing this battle gives Mew the mightiest mark. This is interesting. This is like a way to deliver events, because in older Pokemon games, you would need an event Arceus that had a mark to like trigger an Arceus event, an event Regigigas to trigger the 3 Regis in Platinum, which meant you had to get it from the movie. But what they can do here is distribute the mark through something like this, you know, so you get your Mew to beat the Mewtwo, you get the mark, and then you can get an event. Not that any of that's happening. All right, let's go to your theories. All right, first we got Situated Methane, and he sent me just this photo, and I stared at it for a bit, and then I realized. So this is Legends Arceus after the bubble's been broken, and there's some Palkia Dialga distortion happening. They sent me the screenshot highlighting that there are a bunch of hexagons in the sky. What is that supposed to mean, huh? Like Terrapagus is doing something during this time? So in Pokemon Platinum, when Cyrus is summoning Dialga and Palkia, I think you can see this very pattern forming around the world in the sky. I think that's what this is a reference to. I don't think the hexagons are taking over. All right, here we got Raider Tia. It's the red-haired chef boy. Okay, so who holds the secret among these 5? I'm pretty sure it's in reference to Unova. The first gym leaders in the first Unova game was a trio of elemental chefs, one being a redhead. I think it tells us that the Unova remake will be in the future and that all the previous characters will be older. Wait, what are you trying to say here? Wait, I thought where you're going is like it was this guy's kid, the guy with the pan, and so that's why he would play a role in the game after this. But you're saying that guy literally is a younger him, and Black and White takes place after Scarlet and Violet. Alright, here we got Jar Poke. So they have a theory about what really Ogerpon is, and the theory is that it doesn't follow the tale of Momotaro like we thought. It's a different story that's just masked to look like the Momotaro story. So pretty much, Ogerpon and the Loyal 3 are friends. Ogerpon makes the toxic chain and gives it to them, and it turns out the Loyal 3 are just power hungry, so they frame Ogerpon and just pretend to be the good guys around the villagers. And this is why behind the mask, Ogerpon looks shy. That would be a pretty sick plot twist. I would love if these 3, we flip the script and they're evil. They're the ones who steal treasure. I like this theory. Here we got Shash Mahal. This one's interesting. So this is in reference to the 5 characters. Which one is important? They say, what if it's this person, you know, the girl who's braided her hair into screws? She thought this was a good idea. He's saying, what if she's linked to Colress? Still don't know how they would hold the key to the lore. Maybe it's something as simple as there being an artifact that Blueberry's looking for in Area 0, and one of these just casually has it. That's why they hold the key to the lore. Here we got Sun Vegito. I don't know if you watch Avatar, but Aang encounters a giant lion turtle with the hexagon on its back, and the turtle grants the Avatar all 4 elements. Terrapagus is a turtle with all elements, so maybe there's something there with Terrapagus. No one can really solve this Terrapagus thing. If it's not a 19th type, he somehow has to be all of them. Bro, if Terrapagus come back and it turn out he's like Ice Fairy, it would be so weird. Here we got Revolt Uppercut. Well, here's something for Terrapagus. So he thinks the answer is that Terrapagus is gonna have an ability like the old Protean, except it's buffed. Now, what if Terrapagus's ability was a special Protean where it does double the damage? So it's adaptability and Protean combined together. It's supposed to be overpowered. That's like the only way you can make him work. So maybe he starts off as a normal type and then does that. All right, here we got Noivy. Hey teacher, not a big theory, but Khu made that poll about Unova, and then he changed his Twitter name to Paradox Sequel. For a while, what is he hinting at? He's just trolling. Don't follow his names. He'll take the goofiest thing or the thing people want most, and he makes his name that. Let's see what his name is right now. Khu stands with R Fake. Is he protesting? Okay, so in terms of R Fake, there was supposed to be an R Fake Gyarados. It was hinted in the code. Maybe that ends up in the DLC. All right, here we got Ricky. So about Khu's tweet, of the 5 characters, one of them grasps the key. He points out this. So you have this guy here. He's the guy with his back turned in the trailer. This is weird. They point out this little water spot. So here, I've pulled up the actual artwork in case he edited anything. If you look very closely, there is something marked in the water. What he's saying is that it looks like a map of Paldea. Mans has a whole regional map. Now, looking at it, what is that? All right, here we got Jimi Hendrix. So they sent me this picture of a dome underwater. A lot of people are saying to read this Bible verse, Genesis 6:7. Alright, I'll read it. The Lord regretted that he had made human beings on the earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. So the Lord said, I will wipe from the face of earth the human race I've created. Damn! I mean, dang! And with them the animals, the birds, and the creatures that move along the ground, for I regret that I had made them. I don't get what this means. So you're saying, maybe this used to be the earth, and humans used to live there, and then God said, I don't like it, and he dropped it into the sea, and then Cyrano found it and built a dome around it. That's the only thing I'm getting. Here we got John Awano. So he talks about something pretty cool. In the Indigo Disc footage, we see an Alolan Exeggutor. Currently, there's no way to get most Alolan Pokemon on the Switch naturally, so maybe the player is able to change the terrarium to be the same climate as different regions, and then you'll be able to catch Pokemon exclusive to those regions. So that is the case. I mean, I don't think we can change the temperatures. I think we're just gonna have regional variants that we're not supposed to meet here in the terrarium. But I think that brings up a cool opportunity, right? So along with having maybe Alolan, Ninetales, and Exeggutor, and then maybe in the snowy places you got like Galarian Darmanitan. But isn't this a cool opportunity to introduce a regional variant that shouldn't exist yet? So I'm saying pretty much one from a Gen 10 region, or maybe like, you know, a Unova variant of like Eradicate, you know, like a Snorlax. Does it have to be a coincidence that the terrarium's only gonna have regional variants we've met before? Isn't it an opportunity to do that? You don't even have to reveal what the region is. You can just keep it unknown, and then the next games get announced and you just casually meet that regional variant in that game. And Mustard is never listening anyway. All right, I'm gonna call it quits here. Make sure y'all shank that like button. Keep sending me your theories, Twitter and Instagram. I'm having a lot of fun, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.